Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today the patch notes for update 12.0 have been released. We're going to go through them and talk about what you guys need to know in order to get the most out of this upcoming update. Also, I would recommend you check this article out for yourself because you can get a free day of premium time out of this article. It's hidden somewhere in this webpage. I will link to that in the description down below as well. Also, if you do enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like and a comment before you click off of it. It helps push out the video in the algorithm and get it out to more eyes. I would greatly appreciate that. So let's go ahead and get on into it. So, one of the big things that I'm very excited about in this update is that Airship Escort is returning. This is the game mode where both sides have an airship. They have to escort to a certain point on the map. This is a really fun mode, especially for those of us that like close quarters combat. The way that they designed I think they had, what, 2 or 3 maps? I mostly played on, I think, just 2 last time. They would have, a very nice maniac, just insane section at the end where both teams would basically be like old school Pirates of the Caribbean broadsiding each other at the end. It was a ton of fun, and I'm very excited to see it back. So they say update 12.0 brings back a familiar temporary battle type under a new name, Airship Escort. This used to be the Dirigible Derby. Your mission remains the same: escort the allied airship to the destination point before the enemy team succeeds in doing so, or destroy all opposing ships. Ships can affect the speed of the allied or enemy airships by remaining within a certain interactive zone around them. The game mode has been revised with a number of improvements. The tier 8 to 10 ships of all types are allowed to participate. Battles are fought in a 12v12 format. Battles will be fought on a large number of maps, and the airship routes have been updated updated on a number of old maps. Simultaneously slowing down the enemy airship and speeding up the allied airship will give the latter an additional acceleration. This prevents battles from taking too long when one of the teams is able to gain a serious advantage over the opposing team. The base airship speed has been reduced to prevent battles between equal teams from ending too quickly. Escorting your allied airship and slowing down the enemy one brings additional XP and credits. That's good. We've reworked and revamped the combat interface. So it sounds like good changes all around. They do seem to be addressing the main issues with the older mode, and I like to see that. Also like seeing that tier 8 ships can participate in this now, as well as tier 9, and no super ships. So that's a main plus for me right there, boys. I'm very excited for this mode to combat. I really do think this should be the mode that should be in the random battles rotation rather than arms race. Arms race is just kind of a kooky, more arcadey mode that should be, in a temporary battle mode. This is a much more well-suited mode for random battles, in my opinion at least. But again, I'm glad it's coming back. I'm really glad they added in the XP and credits for, doing what you're supposed to be doing and escorting your airship. So many players just, again, like to turn this into team deathmatch and just shoot one another rather than playing the objective. So any incentive to play the objective more is a big plus in my mind. The note here at the end of this section: participating in Airship Escort to earn special achievements for this battle type, as well as earn community tokens for completing special daily and weekly combat missions. We regularly test new mechanics in temporary modes with an eye on introducing them to the game on a permanent basis, and this is also the case for Airship Escort. Well, there you go. If the updated mode performs well this year, Airship Escort will most likely be introduced in the random battles in the future. Well, there you go. Again, I fully welcome this mode into random battles. It's a ton of fun. A nice breakup from the stale modes that we've been having for the past, 6-7 years at this point. Alright, so also in this update, the Japanese light cruisers are coming out in full. They note the ships of the new branch can definitely be called classic representation of light cruisers. They have good concealment, mediocre armor, and multiple guns that fire rather small caliber shells and an arcing trajectory. The higher the tier of the ships in the branch, the larger the number of the main battery guns and the longer their range of fire, but the reload time also increases. Another distinguishing feature of the new ships is their large number of torpedoes with immense damage and range, as well as wide launching sectors, thanks to the turning mechanic. So I wouldn't call them classic representation of light cruisers, because yes, they do have a large number of small caliber guns, but their fire rate's abysmal. Like, they have to have even including a heavy cruiser, is one of the worst RPMs in the game. Like, they literally have the major downsides of both the light and heavy cruisers. They have small caliber guns, light armor from the light cruiser side of things, and they have the slow rate of fire from the heavy cruiser side of things. And yeah, at least with the tier 8, the tier 8's pretty miserable. Maybe the tier 9 and tier 10 will be better. I'm not a CC nor a super tester, so I haven't had access to those, so I don't know. I'll be playing them when they come out in full, so you can expect some reviews of those ships once that does get released this Wednesday. So yeah, keep an eye open for that. But who knows? They might surprise me. Alright, the whole title of this update is Lunar New Year, so the Lunar New Year is kicking off. They say the second week of update 12.0 kicks off the Lunar New Year celebrations. To celebrate, the event is the new age of, oh no, Sa Jinbing collection is going to be introduced into the game. It reveals the biography of the famous admiral and the naval history of China in the era of armor and steam. Oh, that sounds cool. The collection consists of 5 sections with 4 elements in each. Completing each collection section will bring you 1 day of Warships Premium account. The reward for completing the entire collection is unique Pan-Asian Commander Sa Jinbing with 10 skill points and a special achievement. So let's see, what is Mr. Jinbing's skills here? So aircraft carriers. He has an improved engine boost skill, 7.5% to engine boost action time of squadron instead of the normal 5%. Battleships, emergency repair specialist, 4% to the cooldown time of damage con and repair party instead of the usual 3%. Vigilance, 35% to torpedo acquisition range instead of the standard 25%. For cruisers and destroyers, he has consumable enhancements, 12.5% to the consumable action time instead of the standard 10%. The unique talents of Jinbing. High Alert activates once per battle upon earning the Combat Scout achievement and reduces the squadron preparation and main battery gun reload time by 20%. That's pretty nice. Torpedo Attack Expert activates once per battle upon hitting enemy ships with torpedoes 6 times and increases torpedo speed by 5%. Reduces the torpedo reload booster consumable cooldown time by 25% and adds 1 charge of this consumable. He also has emergency supplies, activates after 1.5 million HP with potential damage earned, and reduces consumable cooldown time by 6.5%. They note the collection elements can be obtained from standard and premium The Age of Sa Jinbing containers. The exchange rate for duplicates is 1 to 4. In total, you can obtain 42 standard containers in update 12.0, and this starts with January 25th at 2 a.m. Alright, so, I mean, yeah, sounds pretty cool. Sounds like a pretty neat, unique commander. Definitely with the, man, if you can get that High Alert popping with the Pan-Asian cruisers, imagine a Jinan with a freaking 20% boost to its reload time, on top of course, like, you know, adrenaline rush and things like that. Up next, we have everyone's favorite new hybrid monstrosity class, the American hybrid battleships. They will be entering early access in 12.0. So, they state, ship specifications. The 46mm main battery artillery of the new ships has a good firing range, but not the highest damage per minute. A squadron of bombers that carry HE bombs acts as aircraft armament. The large number of aircraft in each flight will allow you to deal significant damage to enemy ships. The vulnerable parts of the new ships are the large, slightly armored superstructures that house an aircraft hangar, very similar to the Kearsarge, and this, of course, starts with... Oh, actually, it doesn't start with the update. Interesting. February 1st. Okay, Wargaming, that's... Alright, that's weird. Normally they just let these rip right out of the gate. Now, this is interesting because I've said in the past it's kind of weird how one of the main reasons that they ended the CC's ability to show off ships in progress was because they were basically overshadowing what was already in the game. And it seems like they're taking steps now to prevent that from happening yet again. Because, yes, the Japanese light cruisers are being released in full with this update tomorrow, at least on the North American server. But, yeah, no one would care about those. They would all want the hybrid battleships. As much as people complain about them, I'm pretty sure everyone wouldn't mind trying them out. So it looks like they're putting, about a 2-week delay on that. That's, wow. Okay. Interesting move there, Wargaming. Alright, so the Nebraska, you can get it as the final reward of the Premium Battle Pass. Ooh, okay, Wargaming. Dang. Delaware can be obtained via random bundles that available for doubloons. That's the tier 9. Louisiana, available to purchase for doubloons at the end of the sequential bundle chain. As always, I'm sure it's going to be 20,000 doubloons after you have to go through, God, who knows how many bundles in that bundle chain. So they say in the third week of update 12.0, so is it 3 week delay? So let's see, 12.0 is, yeah, okay, yeah, 2.5 weeks, because that's like, the first is 2.5 weeks into the update. Yeah, so yeah, they're putting about a 2 week delay on it. So, getting access to the themed section of the Armory, as well as the special combat mission groups. Completing them will bring you a new temporary resource, American tokens. The final reward is Commander's Statue of Liberty with a unique voiceover. I want to just be like her talking with explosions and eagles in the background. You'll be able to exchange your tokens for sequential bundles that hold the following items: Storm Sky, permanent camo, American Battleship Commander flag, a bonus package for Nebraska, signals, expendable camos, coal, credits, free, and elite commander XP. During the early access period, you can obtain enough free tokens and told to purchase the Storm Sky permanent camo, as well as a bonus package for Nebraska. Yeah, I mean, these ships are, I mean, I'm disappointed that this is what we're getting for, like, the Louisiana, and I'm not sure many other players are too excited about having more planes in the game, but I do believe submarines have kind of overshadowed the CVs in terms of receiving the community's hate at the moment. So, I mean, I'm interested in them. I'm interested to see how they play, but yeah, again, still really upset that Louisiana is getting this treatment rather than being in Montana as she was intended to be. All right, next up is ranked. So ranked will be kicked off in this update. They say battles will be fought in a 6v6 format with battleships, destroyers, and cruisers and carriers on the following tiers. Bronze is tier 6, silver is tier 8, gold is tier 9 and 10. They say in Season 10, the rule for keeping a star in the event of a loss is the same for all leagues. The bronze, silver, and gold leagues. Only the top XP earner on the losing team will keep a star. Taking this into account, we've changed the number of stars required to complete the gold and bronze leagues. In addition, we've reworked the interface, rules, text, and tooltips in the port for ranked battles, as well as added a special mechanic that allows you to immediately receive all unclaimed rewards for victories if you quickly reach rank 1 in a league. Brawls are also coming back too. They state that the first brawl will be tier 8 ships in a 6v6 format. And they also note base earnings in brawls now depend on the battle duration. Earnings will be lower in short battles. Protracted battles will bring more XP and credits compared with previous version of brawls in similar formats. The changes will affect all brawl formats except 1v1. I was about to say, yeah, what about 1v1s when, you know, two dudes actually decide to have a brawl and go at one another and joust each other, then you just, you know, get taken out real quick. Alright, so in the Armory, we are getting the Hector! They say when 12.0 goes live, so I'm assuming day 1. Hector, this is the big Dido. Oh, this is literally what they say. A cruiser that is an enlarged version of the Dido class light cruiser will become available in the Army for 46,000 research points. Compared to her prototype, she has more powerful artillery and torpedo armament. The ship is armed with 14 133mm guns housed in 7 turrets, as well as 4 quad-tube torpedo launchers. The ship features 2x2 torpedo launching capabilities, and the torpedo launchers have convenient torpedo launching sectors. Her main battery guns deal high damage per minute, but they shoot shells with low damage and armor penetration. The cruiser has good concealment and maneuverability, but a small HP pull and weak armor. The cruiser has access to damage con and repair party consumables with standard settings. Crawling smoke generator and a choice between DFAA and short-range hydro is in a single slot. And my Hiruguma line is crying yet again because it's about to get reset 5 or 6 or 7 times. How many times I have to reset to get these research points to get the ship to review. It's an interesting looking ship. It's pretty wacky, and I'm looking forward to it. So, again, another ship to be looking out for this week. So, one huge thing about this update is that they are completely removing free XP ships in this update. So the last 4 that are still currently free XP ships will no longer be free XP ships in update 12.4. So you have 4 updates to get the Groningen, the Hayate, the Azuma, and the Agir. The Azuma, the Agir, and the Groningen are definitely ships that are worth it in my opinion. The Hayate is more of a gun-focused Shimakaze, and I don't think you'd be missing out too much if you wouldn't pick that one up, but the Azuma gear and Groningen absolutely are. Now, they do say that they will no longer be available to purchase in the tech tree for free XP, but they will be moving into the Armory for coal. They don't mention how much coal, but I would, just safely bet it would be about the same as their, counterparts. So the other Tier 9 coal cruisers in the case for the Azuma and the Agir, and the other Tier 9 coal destroyers in the case of the Groningen, and of course the Hayate, whatever Tier 10 coal DDs are going for at this point. So if you want those ships for free XP, which is pretty easy to get with the way the economy is nowadays and with warships, especially if you have plenty of the blue and green boosters around, you have 4 updates to do that. That is quite some time. That's quite literally going to be like, what, summer-ish, late summer-ish for this game. The updates normally run for 5 weeks, so that's, 20 weeks. So, just, if you want those ships for free XP, which is, again, pretty easy to get right now, now's the time to do that. And, like I talked about in my What the Hell Happened to Free XP ships video, coal's a lot easier for them to control. Free XP is kind of just gone out the window with all the boosters and the way the economy works now. So, this makes sense that they would do that. I'm not saying it's good that they're doing that. I'm saying it makes sense from their side of things that they would do this. So that's a big piece of information that you definitely need to take advantage of. So guys, those are the major points of Update 12.0. There's a lot more that we didn't talk about, but again, I just wanted to go over the main things that you guys need to know to get the most out of this update. If you, again, would like to read this in full, link to this is in the description down below. I, again, highly encourage you guys to check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, leave a comment down below. Let me know in the comments what you're most excited about for this update. Hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday, a wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.